Prada's coming out with their new summer collection, and in that collection there are 3 new eyeshadow palettes, a new mascara, and some eye pencils. I don't know when the eye pencils are coming out, but the mascara is already out, and that is called the Prada Scope Lash Extending Volume Mascara, and it's in one color, Nero. I did not pick that one up because the spoolie, the bristles are on one side, kind of like a brush. It does look interesting. I'll kind of see some reviews about it because I'm real particular about my mascaras, and this one sells for $35, and I did not pick that mascara up. What I did pick up are the 3 new eyeshadow palettes. I was watching Alicia Archer on Instagram, and she mentioned that she was at Nordstrom and they had the eyeshadow palettes. I think it was just behind the counter. I don't think they were able to sell it yet, but she was able to get 2 of the 3 palettes. So I text my sales associate, she's in the YSL counter, and I asked her if they have it there. So she went to the Prada counter and they had it there, so I was able to purchase it from her. And I went ahead and got all 3 palettes. I do not see them yet on the Nordstrom website, but I am seeing them on the Sephora site. It does say it's sold out, but in a couple days they will be able to sell them. So it's going to be here soon. So let me show you the eyeshadow palette. It comes in that mirrored packaging, and you can see how dirty it is, which just shows that it's loved and used. And here's what the back looks like. You can see the triangle here where these are refillable. You can punch it out, the palette out, and put another one in. It does have a magnetic closure, and when you open it up, it does have a mirror with 4 shades and includes 2 brushes. These do retail for $85 each with the compact, and the refillable ones, they sell for $70 each. I'm not seeing yet on Sephora if they have the refillable ones. They just have the standard size with the compact. Don't know when the refills will come, but I hope they sell these 3 palettes in the refill size. You do get 6 grams of product, which is 0.21 ounce. These are made in France, and they have a 24-month shelf life. These palettes are created using a low pressure injection process with micropixel pigments, ensuring strong color density in one stroke. This oil, I'm going to have to write it down here because I cannot pronounce it, offers a seamless glide-on application and gives the eyelids a smoother look. These shadows easily blend and layer without fallout. They have 12 hours durable wear, a creamy powder finish with easy glide-on application, and eyelids look smoother after 28 days of constant use. Before we get into these new eyeshadow palettes, I have tried them before. When they first came out, I did purchase 2 of them, and I did do a video on those, and I'll link it down below, and they weren't my favorite. I think the color stories just didn't work for me. So those palettes that I had, they went to a loving home. I don't have them anymore. I also bought the Prada foundation, which I don't have because my daughter took that. It was in a lighter shade, and I just didn't pick up a darker shade, and so far my daughter likes it. I liked it too. It was really nice, but the color was just a little light, probably like 3 shades lighter. And the other thing that I have from Prada is their lipstick, just one lipstick, and it's this one right here. I cannot remember what this one is, but I'll link it down below for you guys. But it's a nice lipstick. It's in the soft matte formula. It's very nice. So let's get into these 3 palettes, and let's start with the lightest one, 07, which is Peony. And I was not going to get this one because I thought it would be too light, and yeah, it is kind of light. And then we have 08, which is Pansy, and this is more medium tone. And then we have 09. This is the deepest one of the 3, and I have to say this one's my favorite one. Let's go back to the first palettes that they came out with. It was set up the same way with the skinny shadow up here at the top and the Prada emblem here, the triangle in the middle. And it had 3 shades that were kind of neutral and 1 pop of color, a red, a blue, a yellow, a purple. But this time these are all leaning kind of pink and warm, and instead of that pop of color, they have kind of like a duochrome. You can see it more here in 09. You can see that there's 1 duochrome. And then let me show you 08, it's right here, and then 07, it's this one right here. I did take a video with my phone of putting all 3 palettes out together before I touched them. So I wanted you to see all 3 together untouched. You can see the different shades. And I kind of like how they did it this way, light, medium, and deep. And I especially like 09, and I have it on my eyes right now, but 2 different looks. I hope you can see the difference, but we'll get into that. But let's go ahead and start swatching these palettes. So let's start with 07 and start with this top shade. Now these are made with an oil, and I'll have to write it down here because I cannot pronounce it. These are more on the creamy side. They're not very powdery. All right, so here's that top shade. This one is pigmented, and I like this one because it's not ashy on my skin tone. And you can see that it's very creamy. It's not powdery at all. Now let's go to this triangle. It just glides right on. And then here's that shade in the middle. Now this one does look a little ashy, so it's a little bit more on the cooler side on my skin tone. And then let's swatch this kind of like a multi-effect, which is the name of these palettes, the Prada Dimensions Multi-Effect Eyeshadow. So let's swatch this multi-effect one in 07. This one is light. I have to tell you, it is light on my skin tone. And I hope that you can see the multi-effect here and how creamy it is. But again, this one is light for me. Please excuse my nails. I just took the gel polish off. They just kept breaking. My nails just keep breaking. So it's like, okay, let me just take the gel polish off, let it, you know, breathe a little bit, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, this is what we got now. But anywho, let's go into 08 and let's swatch the top shade. So one thing I don't like about the design of this palette is the top shade is just too skinny. You have to have a really small brush for it. But anywho, here's what that shade looks like. And you can see it's deeper than 07. And then let's swatch this triangle, and you can just see how creamy it is. Now let's go into the big triangle, the Prada triangle. Okay, and then let's swatch this multi-effect shadow. So you can see that it has some green in there. There's also kind of like a pink shift in there, and you can see the base, it's a little bit more on the pink side. Let me just swatch it one more time so you can see that. I mean, that is so pretty. Now let's go into my favorite one, 09 Primula. I believe that's how you pronounce it. And did I say that name? I can't remember, but I Googled it, and it's kind of like a primrose. Kind of reminded me of the Hunger Games a little bit. But anywho, let's swatch the top shade. And see, it's kind of hard for me to swatch it because my fat fingers. I think I even picked up some from the shade underneath it. Let me try this again. All right, I hope that's better. Yeah, you can see the shade that was underneath it right there. Now let's go to this deep shade. Again, these are very creamy. It has that oil base in there, and you can kind of see it on my finger. It's not powdery. So here's that shade. Very pretty. I like this type of brown shade. Now let's go to the signature Prada shape. And this one I would say is more like a terracotta. It's not pinky as the other two. And then this multi-effect shade. This one's pretty. And I don't know if you could see it in the pan. It kind of shifts purple, pink, and then kind of green blue. But let me swatch it here. I mean, that's got some effect to it. And it does have that pink base. Kind of like the same shade as here, or even this one. Yeah, this one does have like a purpley pink shift with just a little bit of blue. You could even use this shade as a one and done and just kind of blend it up into the crease like that. So how I applied these palettes, I used 07 on this eye and 08 on this eye for the first two looks. And of course for this look, I used 09 and I did it two different ways. Now I thought I was gonna be able to kind of talk while I was applying these two looks, but the lawn service guys came and they were doing 3 yards in front of me, 2 in front and 1 beside me. And I just couldn't wait 2 hours for them to finish, so I just went ahead and applied it without talking. But I'll kind of do a little voiceover here. So let me go ahead and show you how I came up with looks with these two palettes, and we'll start with 07 and 08, and I'll see you on the other side with 09. So for 09, I went in with a top shade, and I did not put an eyeshadow primer with this look or with the other looks. Because of the formula of these shades, I think putting an eyeshadow primer just it was just a little chunky from what I remember. So I didn't use an eyeshadow primer, just on bare eyes with just my skincare. Then I went in with that middle shade, that terracotta, and placed that in the outer corner and a little bit towards the middle. And I also did that on the other side. Then I went into that deep chocolate shade and placed it in the outer corner. Again with both sides. Then I went in with that multi-effect shade. Yeah, that's pretty. So for my left eye, I went ahead and put it in the middle of my eye towards the inner corner. And then I thought about it, it's like, I think this will look nice as a halo eye. So that's what I did to the other side. So then I went back in with that middle shade, the terracotta shade, and placed that in the inner corner of my eye. And then that chocolate shade also in the inner corner, and then using my finger I placed that multi-effect shade in the middle of my eye. And for underneath my eyes, I went in with that top shade and placed them both on both sides. Then that terracotta shade, placed them on both sides again on the outer corner. Then that chocolate shade also on the outer corner. And then with that multi-effect shade, I placed that in the center underneath. And then I used a liquid liner by Hermes and applied that on both sides. You know, I love my black eyeliner. And then on the left side, I used the Victoria Beckham bronze eye pencil and placed that in my waterline and lower lash line. And on the right side, I placed the new pencil from Chanel, Taupe Fumé, and also placed that in my waterline. And here's the finished look, and I hope you can see the difference in how I applied these shades. My left one is more, you know, how I typically wear it, and the right side's more like a halo eye. Now, full disclosure, I did get Botox a couple of weeks ago, and I think this side is just a little bit higher. I know, y'all probably didn't notice it, but I noticed it. So I just want to let you know if you see that this one's higher, because the lid crease is just a little off for me. So I'm just having a hard time trying to, you know, make it even. But I'm going to go at the end of this week and hopefully she can fix it. Make this side a little bit higher as well. I know. Again, you probably didn't even notice it, or maybe you did, but I just don't like that. Let's talk about 07, even though that is the lightest one, and it just looks like all four colors just kind of merged together. I don't know, when I was walking around the house, looking in the mirror, I kind of liked it because it didn't make me look ashy. It didn't make my eyes look ashy. And I like that color of pink. And I can just bring in the deeper shade, probably from 09, and just place that in the outer corner. But it wasn't bad. It's my least favorite of the three, but it wasn't bad. 08, really do like it. When my husband came home, he liked that one a lot better than 07. Do like that multi-chrome effect with that kind of like a yellowy gold. And of course this one, 09, I like this one the most. I love the multi-effect shade in here. Come on, lighting. The shades are very smoothing. We do need to be careful. Sometimes the shades could kind of blend into each other and you can't see the difference between the shades you use. And that's the problem that I had with the first two palettes that I got. And you can run into that problem with these palettes. But I love the multi-effect shades in each of these palettes. I like it a lot better than that pop of color. Let me show you the swatches again. In each palette, there's kind of like 3 matte shades, if you will. Maybe one has a little bit more of a satin finish. But in each one, you have that multi-effect shade, which I think that's really good from Prada to do that. Again, instead of using that pop of color that you probably wouldn't use every time. And I love this one, 09. Out of the 3, I love 09, then 08, and then 07. I'm glad I did get 07, even though it's a little bit light and it just kind of blend in with each other, all 4 shades. But I was kind of glad that it didn't look ashy. You can see that it's more pink. And that's what I'm kind of looking for in some of these pink tones, because some of them do look ashy on my skin tone. But yeah, 09 is my favorite, and I kind of like it this way. The halo eye is not my favorite, maybe because of the Botox, but this is how I typically wear my eyeshadows. You know, the typical crease shade, the deeper shade for the outer corner for dimension, and the metallic shade in the lid. Now the formula of the shades, they are very smoothing. It doesn't look powdery on my lids. When I wore 07 and 08, that lasted pretty much 8-10 hours. It did not crease at all, which I was quite surprised because I didn't put an eyeshadow primer on. And this is a little bit more on the creamier emollient side. And how my lids are folding right now, yeah, they didn't crease, which I was quite surprised. So if you have oily eyes, you may need to be careful. Maybe put a eyeshadow primer down or set it with powder. But for me, I did not have any problems of it sliding around or creasing on me. and I do have combo oily skin. So that's something that I see, just want to let you know. I do like this palette, 09. I do like how I did it this side, and I do like 08 and 07. I'm glad I got it. I will use it, but I'll just bring in a deeper shade for the outer corner, because again, it did not look ashy on my skin tone. And I like the multi-effect in that palette as well. Well, alright you guys, thank you so much for watching this video of me trying the new eyeshadow palettes from Prada, the Dimensions Multi-Effect eyeshadow palettes. And if you liked and enjoyed this video and it was helpful, please give me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you can see more videos like this. And you all have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.